大家中唔中意個愛心口罩啊？係由 Dorian 設計㗎。如果你中意咧，就記得去以下呢個 website 度購買，記得擺 promotion code 啊。因為咧部分嘅收入咧就會donate俾慧妍嘅。慧妍雅集咧就係香港小姐嘅慈善機構，我亦都係海外嘅會員嚟㗎。咁我梗係想出翻一分力啦。咁希望大家都支持啦。嗨，你好，歡迎嚟到泳之友。今日請好特別嘉賓啊，來自遠方嘅 Vancouver 嘅，佢係 Shelby 咧就係、我哋 say hi 先啦。Hi Shelby，how are you doing?
Hi everybody.
Hi.
I'm doing great.
Yeah,
I'm so excited to talk to you and meet you. You're very inspiring. I've heard so much about you.
Thank you. Me too. I read about your story and what you have been going through. I'm very how do I say that? I think your story can encourage a lot of people, and such a young age, you go through a lot. Yeah. So let me just introduce you in Chinese a little bit, okay? 係啦，阿 Shelby 咧就喺 Vancouver 嚟嘅，咁佢咧就係、佢有一個好勵志嘅人生。佢咧喺14歲嗰陣時咧就經過一段非常之艱難嘅一生嘅，係直至而家，因為佢係有liver disease 係肝炎啦，咁跟住咧就又要換肝換過2次嘅，咁不如我哋問下佢經歷過咁難嘅困難，點樣去解決咁多問題 ？Yeah, I introduce you. You since you're teenager, you mean go through so much, twice liver transplant, and then you're thinking you're not even with us, but you're going overcome so many difficulty. Can you give us some little background and what happened and all that? Thanks.
Sure. Yeah. From a very young age, there was 4 kids in our family, and we were always very, very active, very healthy. We ski raced in the winter. In the summer times, we were competitive swimmers. We were always involved in sports and always very active and healthy. None of us were ever sick. We never had, broken bones, stitches. We'd never been in any kind of unhealthy sickness, anything like that. And when I was 14 years old, I was doing very well at competitive swimming, very well. And it came to a very important swimming competition at the end of the season. And I'd been looking forward to this all year because I've worked very, very hard and been taking it very seriously. And just about a week, probably about 5 days before that big competition, I started getting very tired and very not feeling well at all. I was very sick, very, very tired. My stomach was very sore in one area. And so we went to the doctor. The doctor did some tests. I noticed my eyes were yellow. I thought it was a sunburn, but it was not quite right. So the doctor told me that I had hepatitis A. And so I was to go home and rest and not swim. But I had worked all summer. I was determined to swim. So I was told I would have to have my own lane when I was warming up and stay away from everybody. So I was like, okay, we can do this. And during the competitions, be in my own lane. So I swam my races and I was able to win. And I qualified for provincials. Even though I was so sick, I was so tired at the end of my races that they had to pull me up out of the pool.
Wow.
I'll let you translate.
Okay, thank you.
It's a lot.
Yeah. 咁Shelby 咧就喺14歲嗰陣時，佢屋企有4個小朋友，咁咧一路都係好健康嘅。咁佢又係游水嘅健將嚟㗎，佢係游好多游水嘅比賽。咁佢咧就咁佢有一日咧就游咗水比賽嗰陣時就開始好唔舒服啦。咁就去睇醫生啦，佢隻眼就有少少黃啊，而且佢個肚啊嗰度有啲痛啊咁，但係佢都好堅強咁去finish 呢個比賽，而且入咗圍添喎。咁跟住就睇下佢跟住點嚇。Okay, so what happened after the competition?
Within 3 days of that competition, and it was only about 9 days after the very first symptoms started, I declined rapidly, and my parents took me to the local emergency room, and they didn't know what was happening. I got very sick, and I started not responding. I was just falling asleep and starting to hallucinate, and I was very confused and in and out of consciousness.
Oh wow! So 咁啊 ，Shelby 就話3日之後比賽佢就好唔舒服啦，就要仍要入急症喎。佢就開始已經模模糊糊，已經冇乜知覺啊，有陣時有知覺冇知覺咁樣喎。Yeah.
So we were in a smaller town, and the doctor, I was put in ICU, and the doctor at the time they've never really seen anything like this, so they weren't sure if it was meningitis or they knew it wasn't the hepatitis B, the hepatitis A. It was kind of beyond the scope of that. So they decided to just wait and watch me overnight. But there was a nurse working who lived in my small town, and she was very worried, and she knew there was something not right. And she phoned a doctor who she knew he had been hired, and he was coming from a large center in Toronto to this very small town hospital. And she decided to phone him because I went to school with her son. She decided to phone him and just see what he thought. He came in, he took one look at me, and he said, her liver is failing. She's in liver failure. She's going to need a liver transplant.
Wow.
Watch her breathing.
Right away.
And within 1 hour of that doctor coming to see me, I had stopped breathing, my body shut down, and I went into a coma.
Oh my God! OK， 咁佢入咗醫院啦，入急症，咁咧佢就好彩佢有個護士係佢個仔仔同佢一間學校嘅，咁咧佢就因為佢哋係喺一個好細嘅 town 係 Toronto， 咁咧好在佢嗰個護士咧就識一個醫生喺 Toronto 唔係 Vancouver， 你係細嘅 town Vancouver， 咁嗰個護士又識一個醫生喺 Toronto， 咁就打俾個醫生嚟睇佢，咁醫生見到佢就話佢個肝已經係唔得㗎啦，咁要佢即刻要換肝啦，但係佢嗰陣時已經係昏迷咗啦。Wow, that's scary.
Very scary. I remember them, the doctors talking to me, and they were calling my name, and I thought I was answering. I'm like, yeah, I'm here, I can hear you. But I also remember being so tired. I just wanted to sleep. So I remember just falling asleep. And had I not had a liver transplant, that is the moment when I would have died.
Wow.
Had somebody not signed their card, I would have died right then and there. That would have been me falling asleep, and then that would be it. I was 14.
Wow.
But what they did then is they flew me to a transplant center, and I had an emergency liver transplant. Because they put me to the top of the list because I would have died within 12 hours.
Wow.
But I had a liver transplant.
Wow, that's scary. So 佢咧就話喺嗰陣時醫生嚟咗啦，佢已經昏迷咗啦，昏迷之後咧，咁醫生就即刻要送佢，要直情係飛機送佢去一個肝炎嘅換臟嘅中心。咁好彩咧，佢就好彩佢就揾到個肝跟住換啦。如果唔係佢咧，12個鐘頭內佢就會離世㗎啦。That is really I would say that doctor really saved you when he come, right?
Yeah, I mean, the other doctor was amazing as well. They were doing their best, but it's when you have something so rare. What happened to me was one or two people in North America a year. So you don't come across this very often. Wow. But that nurse and that doctor saved my life.
Wow.
Lori Colombe, girl, she's amazing. Thelma BC, that girl, she saved my life by making that call. So, it was amazing. I fell asleep. I woke up and I was in a different province. I had been on an airplane. I had no idea where I was when I woke up, but when I woke up, I had somebody else's organ in my body, and I'd had this huge surgery. I didn't know what happened. I didn't know that a week had passed. I didn't know anything. And you know, you being a mother of 3 kids, you can imagine what my parents went through and my 3 siblings went through. It was just awful for them. I slept through the whole thing.
Oh,
That's
that's
okay.
scary. So, how long is the surgery, and how long it take you to wake up?
It was a 14-hour surgery. So
Wow.
they flew me to, I actually had it in Edmonton, Alberta. They flew me to Edmonton, and it was about 3.5 hours. The organ to get a match, it usually takes a year. You know,
I know, amazing. You get to do it right away.
I had a 12-hour window.
Wow.
I would have died 12 hours to find a match.
Ooh.
I mean, somebody who passed at the right time. It was awful, but they had signed their card. Just everything that lined up. I mean, it was incredible. So it all happened in 12 hours. My surgery was 14.5 hours. There were some complications. I did hemorrhage, and there were some complications, but I woke up about a day or 2 later, and my swim coach was there. My mom and dad were there, and yeah,
that's a long.
What happened?
A day or 2 for your parent and your family is. I can't believe it. Yeah, crazy.
Overwhelming for them.
Yeah. So 咁Shelby 咧就入咗去急症換腎啦，即刻好彩咧佢就揾到個 match 喺12個鐘咯頭之內就換到腎。咁呢個手術咧差唔多係拉咗14個鐘喎，佢成1-2日後佢先至醒翻。咁好彩佢啲屋企人啦，同埋佢啲細路妹啦，咁都會喺佢身邊咯。It's only 14. My daughter is 14 right now. You know, yeah, I have a 17, 14, and 12, and I cannot imagine if you have no symptom before, right? They have no idea what's going on.
None.
All of a
Nothing.
sudden, you go into emergency
out of nowhere. Yellow eyes. I'm like, oh, my eye is sunburned. What is that? Because we had a big team event, and then I started getting tired. Yeah, so the white part of my eye
turn yellow.
The white part of my eye was very, very yellow.
Wow.
Like a highlighter yellow.
Wow.
And then some other symptoms showed up, and I was very sore, and I'm like, what? So I went to the doctor. They did some blood tests, and you know, it just, when they looked at the slide of the cells from my liver, they were all gone. There was 2% of my liver functioning when they took it out. Just so fast. The virus came in and just destroyed my liver.
Wow.
They think it may have been autoimmune. But when I woke up, the first thing I heard was like in the movies. I heard the life support machine, the ventilator, the life support machine. And so in the movies, I'm like, what if the power goes out? What if the power goes out? Am I going to stop breathing? Am I going to die? You know, all these things. I'd never been in a and then I looked over and I saw this huge, like in the photo that I sent, there was the old one with my mom and dad, and I'm in the bed. There's a huge tree of IVs beside me, and I'm like, what is that? Just overwhelming when I woke up. But here's how I've dealt with all these things is you kind of just have to be very present in the moment and try not to let yourself get overwhelmed, because whatever the situation that has happened in your life, once it's happened, there's nothing you can do to change it. You have to accept it, decide how you're going to react to it, and then move forward. So, yeah.
OK， 咁Shelby 就話佢因為好突然啦，亦都好難接受咯，佢屋企人接受佢都好難接受。一起親嗰陣時咧，就聽到啜咁聲，嗰啲就係佢嗰啲 life support 嗰啲 machine 喺佢隔離度幫緊佢生存嘅。咁佢喺度諗死啦，如果冇電點算咧咁樣。咁但係佢都話好多嘢都唔可以諗得太多啦。佢話佢自己去面對啲困難咧，就係要去接受咯。然後接受咗之後就要去 move forward， 一路睇下之後點樣做法啦。That's such a young age. It's not. It's hard. It's really difficult. Yeah, I think you do a good job. You know, wake up.
Yeah, it was amazing. I had, my friends and family were there, and the David Foster Foundation helped get my family, to visit me, because we were about 14 hours away from driving from where my family were. So it was amazing having them support me, and it worked out well. So I got right back into school and my activities. I pushed myself to become physically active again, because motion is lotion. You want to get moving again, even though it hurts. I knew it would be the best thing for me. So I was, riding a bike within a couple of weeks. I got back into ski racing again. That's 4 months later. I was swimming again competitively the next summer. And then the second summer after that, I was back at provincials.
Wow.
And and I finally actually got to go.
Wow.
And I won the gold medal, and made a provincial record. And
wow, congratulations. Amazing.
Amazing swim team.
Yeah. 咁啊 Shelby 就話佢做完手術之後，咁佢話最緊要係 keep moving 啦，一路都要喐啦。佢話就係 motion 就係 lotion 係嘛，即係可以一路喐咧，就好似幫你去 lubricate 你嗰啲 joint 啊，咁變咗佢咧就幾個月後佢就可以做翻正常嘅嘢啊。even 佢即係下一年嘅新聞佢有去翻 swim team， 仲贏咗金牌添喎。哇！You have to be very strong to do that, very disciplined. So how do you hang in there, like get back to all the normal activities? Was it hard?
Yeah, it was very challenging. It was because, I'm used to my body being up here, especially as an athlete, and it was boom down here. I remember being outside for the first time, trying to get up a sidewalk curb. I couldn't do it. I needed help doing it. So, this huge drop. And then, mentally it was very overwhelming, but you just have to take small goals every day, small goals, just get through the morning, then challenge yourself to get through the day. So you have to challenge yourself to get, have goals, or for me, it was just setting goals, and I had to do smaller, very tiny goals. But, it was challenging because 1 year after having my transplant, I had a phone call that I found out the donor liver had hepatitis B. So that was very scary, because I was told that I would only have about 5 years of life. So it was,
oh my God.
Yeah, it kind of, I was 15 at the time, so it kind of restructured how I perceived my life at that point. But I dealt with it the way I deal with things.
Okay.
I'll let you translate that.
Okay. Yeah, 咁啊 Shelby 話，我就問佢一個問題一啲都唔簡單啦，點樣去做翻你平日嘅即係平時日常嘅生活啦。咁佢就話最緊要係 set up 一個目標，呢個目標係要好細嘅初，即係佢話連去行一級嘅石級佢都行唔到嘅初，咁佢每日就 set 一個好細嘅目標啦，可能今日行1級，聽日行2級，咁一路咁樣去。咁但係佢話 set up 一個目標咧係好緊要咯。如果冇咗個目標，可能佢而家都即係未必可以即係咁強嘅意志生存到。咁佢話1年後咧就醫院打俾佢，咁俾佢嗰個肝嗰個人咧係有 hepatitis B right？ Yeah， 咁佢就話俾佢聽佢生命其實得翻幾年嘅啫，最多5年到嘅啫。咁又另外一個噩夢嘅開始啦。咁 so I'm sure that's like desolating news for you and your family to hear that. So
it was,
so what's in your mind at that time?
I didn't know how long I was going to live, but there were still things. It was shocking, devastating, but there were still things that I wanted to accomplish. For however much time I had, there was big things I wanted to accomplish. Somebody had given me life, and I wanted to do the most I could with that life. So I carried on with my goals I had. I kept swimming. I ended up moving on to swim for the University of British Columbia, and I went to nationals. I swam at a very elite level and did as much as I could. I did have limitations because of the virus. So I was under treatment, very good treatment. So, you know, I went as far as I could. And then I moved on, and I did some incredible careers. I found that I wanted to try a lot of different things, though. So I did everything from real estate. I taught school. I became a certified aromatherapist. I started a aromatherapy line product. And then I found myself gravitated towards jewelry. It was a hobby at first. And then I kind of built it up to the point where I became full-time jewelry designer. And it was successful, and it's been incredible. And I was, I did a lot of really amazing things, and I traveled the world. I traveled to China, Southeast Asia. I kept my bucket list complete.
Wow. So 代表話佢知道咗自己得5年啦，咁咧就盡量做多啲即係自己中意做嘅嘢啦。咁佢亦都好努力咁樣喺大學嗰陣時咧就入咗國際隊，咁亦都好成績。咁跟住就佢讀完書之後，佢亦都做過好多份唔同嘅職業啦，由地產啊，亦都有自己嘅 product line 啊，亦都去全世界旅遊啊。而家仲有自己嘅珠寶嘅一條珠寶嘅jewelry 嘅鏈啦，咁樣佢即係I know that is it liver bracelets? Yeah. Can you introduce us more about the bracelets?
Absolutely. I designed a liver bracelet, and it was something I created because over the years I'd volunteered, I've given back, but the liver bracelet was something that I felt could just raise a lot of money that we could forward to the Canadian Liver Foundation, which does a lot of research. And it's just such an incredible way to give back. And that was something that I could bring into my business and have my own clients purchase, because it didn't really look like a liver bracelet. It was more abstract and really beautiful. And a lot of people like to buy it. And when I would tell them, I do. I actually do. I have.
Can I see it?
I can go grab it.
Yeah.
Let me go
I can
grab
translate.
But I'm redesigning. Yeah. Oh. Okay. That sounds good.
Okay. 咁Shelby 咧就話佢而家有條珠寶鏈啦，就係主要因為佢係幫啲 research 去籌款啦，因為有好多人都幫咗佢，而家佢都想幫翻人，所以用咧呢條珠寶嘅鏈咧去幫大家籌款做 research 咁。咁我叫佢俾我睇下佢嗰條珠寶鏈係點樣樣。I'm excited. I want to see it.
All right. So this is one of them.
Oh, that's cute. It's like a liver shape, right?
So it's actually got a little liver clasp on it.
Oh, wow.
You can kind of see that.
Cool.
So when you wear it, it's actually got a nice little charm on it.
Oh, that's pretty.
Charm. Yeah. And then there's another one here this one's a little more fine. This is 14 karat gold.
Oh, wow.
And this one is a little bit more. It's a little more
that's cute.
Dainty.
Yeah, that's cute.
Yeah.
That's a good gift. Yeah, like for birthday, Christmas.
Yeah,
and all that.
It is.
So the proceeds
I'm actually redesigning.
Oh, really? Oh, so
yeah. I'll let you go. Sorry.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So do you design what is your plan to what the difference you're going to make?
So all the proceeds go to the Canadian Liver Foundation, and I'm redesigning it. We're doing the Liver Bracelet 2.0. So it's going to be launched this fall for the Canadian Liver Foundation Gala, which is really exciting.
When it's going to be?
We're going to be offering it. It's going to be in early November.
Oh, soon.
And it's going to be a totally new design.
Oh,
it's going to be a new design. It's going to be different. And a little more contemporary. It's going to be offered in 14 karat gold, 14 karat white gold, gold fill, and sterling silver. And there's going to be an option to add little diamonds in there too.
Oh,
So
wow, that's great. So
yeah,
you have a website we can order from you?
Yes, everything's going to be revealed on the launch.
Okay.
It's going to be exciting. Okay. And it's amazing. I'll let you translate that.
Okay.
I've got more to tell you about it.
Shelby 咧就佢頭先俾嗰條手鏈我睇啦，就好似一個係個肝嘅形狀咁啦，咁好靚喺個手度啊，咁我話呢啲好 perfect 嘅禮物啦，而一條咧就係14 karat gold 嚟喎，仲要係，咁佢而家咧就 redesign 再整得更加靚，俾啲可能擺啲珠寶落去做 decoration， 咁呢個嚟緊嘅11月咧就會喺Canadian Liver Foundation 嘅 gala 就會係即係公開發售㗎啦，咁咧嗰啲全部收入都係去捐俾呢個肝癌 Canadian Liver Foundation 做籌款，佢哋可以用啲籌到嘅錢要嚟做 research 啦，亦都幫其他病人好似佢咁啦，因為個 foundation 都幫咗佢好多嘅。That is a really good idea to give it back to the foundation, help them to research because they help you and now you help others. And I know you not just have the first transplant, you have second one too, right? You have two.
Yeah, and this is where research comes in. This is where, you hear about research, but to see it come to life, it's incredible. And I'll give you an example in my own life. They gave me 5 years, but that 5 years turned into 10 years and then 13 years. And when I was 27 years old now with that liver that had the hepatitis B, my numbers kind of went a little funny and I started not feeling well. And I went to my specialist, they looked at it and they said, it's kind of time now. You've kind of reached the end of the life of this liver. So basically you have 3 months to live. You need to get your affairs in order. But I had lived in such a way that I was ready. My bucket list had always been kept up to date. So I went home, I did my will, I sold my car, let my family know, I prepared my estate, 27, and I packed up my things in my home and I hid little notes around in my things for when my family was packing them up, and so that they would, they'd be really sad, but they would laugh, and kind of make them smile when I was gone. And did things like that. So I got ready to die basically and started getting very, very sick. And
how long did it go?
That was 12 years ago.
Oh, wow, it's been 12 years. Wow.
12 years ago. And then I was told they couldn't retransplant. And then probably 4 weeks before my expiry date, I had a phone call from BC Transplant that there was a new experimental protocol they wanted to try with me. Wow. And because of research that had been done. So they put me on the list and I got a liver probably 2 weeks before I died. And that's why I'm still here, because of research.
My God. So Shelby 話佢因為第一次 transplant 嗰個肝佢係個人有 hepatitis B 啦，咁所以佢就唔拉收耐，但係都佢初初俾5年，但係跟住都10幾年啦，跟住開始佢27歲就有問題啦，咁個醫生就俾3個月佢話你剩翻3個月嘅啫，咁你準備啲身後事啦，咁佢就梗係好傷心啦，咁佢準備買咗啲車啊，買咗好多嘢準備佢自己身後事，就佢寫咗好多 notes 俾啲自己屋企人啦，特登病埋喺呢度，病埋喺嗰度，咁等陣時佢開到咧，俾啲 surprise 佢，俾佢哋知道咯，咁呢個都係好難嘅，即係經過嘅時間，咁佢喺4個禮拜喺佢醫生俾咗3個月佢，咁4個禮拜之前咧就佢收到電話就話有一個新嘅因為有好多研究啦，而家有個新嘅procedure 佢可以試下，咁喺2個禮拜之前 佢唔喺度2個禮拜之前咧，咁佢就做呢個實驗啦。It's just an experiment procedure, right? At that time. Wow. So it's
it worked.
Two weeks before they told you you're not going to make it. So it's 2 weeks and you got really sick and it worked, the whole procedure.
It worked. So my new liver that I've got, it doesn't have Hep B in it.
Oh, wow.
I'm still a carrier, but it's not going to affect this liver. So it's been amazing. And, right away I got back into, it was very hard, very difficult after the second one. It was, it took a lot longer to recover, but I did the same thing. I got moving as soon as I could. It was more difficult, but I did it. I got up and started going as soon as I could and, got back into my activities. And like you saw with the photos, I was, mountain biking again and rock climbing and not right away, but I got active again. And, I ended up meeting my husband and our first date was downhill mountain biking and our second date was downhill mountain biking. And
wow.
I love being active and using my body and getting strong. And, it wasn't till, it was a few years into that. I'm now 12 years post transplant number 2. And life has been amazing.
Wow.
And yeah, it's just, life is beautiful. Life is so good. I try to find opportunities to mentor and help people who are on their first transplant or going through it. And I've tried to mentor those because it's such a scary, overwhelming thing. And, I try to make the path easier for those who come behind me,
Great.
If I can.
That's great.
Because it's not an easy thing.
I cannot believe one is hard and you have twice. And the second time is, I'm sure it's really hard. Okay, let me translate a little bit. And Sabi 咧就話佢咁佢2個禮拜就喺佢醫生話佢唔喺度嗰陣時，2個禮拜之前就做咗一個新嘅研究嘅 procedure 啦，咁成功咗，咁到而家已經差唔多12年啦，咁佢一路都冇乜問題，但係第2次比第1次係難好多 recover， 咁佢都係盡量去克服啦，同埋一好啲咧，佢就開始又係 keep moving 咧，佢最緊要。咁佢而家好 active 嘅，咁佢同佢個丈夫係第一次見面都係去踩個 mountain bike 同埋佢會做好多運動啊，即係好活躍啊。咁佢話而家好感恩咯，咁想而家咧就係幫翻啲如果要去要換腎。係換肝嘅人，佢可以俾啲guideline佢啊，或者會扶持佢啊。咁而家都好想做呢樣嘢咯。I think it's really good that you try to help other people because it's a very hard experience in the life to go through all that. And with your experience, not one and twice, I'm sure how to get back up and be strong again, right? So what's the main thing that will help you to say, I got to get up, I got to keep going, I got to keep going?
You know what? I would say there's so much I still want to do. There's so much I still want to do. And I feel that part of it is being given this chance, first at 14, then at 27. I am so grateful. So grateful. That's part of it. Another part of it is that I'm very, very motivated to take the experience that I've gained through these hardships to. There's a lot of information that I've gained from going through those things that I can use to help make it easier for other people who've also gone through it. So I want to use that knowledge. I want to use that knowledge to create easier pathways for people. And I think I can do that. And I've been able to do that over the years. And so if there's a way that I can help other people with that knowledge, that's what I want to do with it.
Okay.
A year and a half ago, you won't be surprised by this, but we did find out that I am going to need a third transplant. I mean, I think this is
No.
I shoot, when I talk about goal, I don't know. I shoot for the moon. It's
No, are you serious?
it's a this is the funny thing. They've all been unrelated. So it's a rare type of chronic rejection occurring. It's very rare, but so again, I'm kind of in the position where I don't know how much longer I have. So I'm taking that time to really make the most of it. And I've gone back to school to finish my degree, take my master's, and help people. I'm learning research. I'm involved in some big research studies and projects in Canada, and there's a lot that I've got my little fingers in. But we're redesigning the liver bracelet 2.0. It's going to look completely different. It's going to be beautiful. Wow. So look for that in November. I'll send you a link for that.
I'm sure I will. I'm so sorry to hear that. My heart is breaking after I hear that. I have to translate it. Shelby 佢話點講佢令佢再跌翻起度，再起翻身。其實係需要好大勇氣，同埋佢最主要，因為佢覺得自己經歷過咁多，好想幫翻其他人，同埋俾啲經驗人哋，等人哋有呢個疾病嘅人會容易啲過啲啦。咁佢而家已經10幾年啦，咁最近1年半前佢發現自己可能要第3次嘅換肝喎，咁即係佢而家都唔知自己可以再生存幾耐。因為佢有個肝係有啲反嘅副作用咯。So how do you feel? Do you feel anything like feel sick or anything that you feel abnormal right now?
Yeah, it's I get tired very easy, and the biggest thing is it's difficult to eat. I get nauseous quite a bit. So having that, and that comes to everything, that I've faced, I just adapt. I just have to adapt. I have to kind of accept what's happening. Don't get angry at it because there's nothing I can do about the current situation. And I kind of put that forward to everybody, especially with what's going on right now. There's whatever the situation is that's in your life, as challenging as it is, kind of look at it and, if there's nothing that we can do, be present, be very present with it. And then choose how you want to react to it. And I'm just choosing to try not to emotionally react and just be present and move forward in the best way that I possibly can so that I can still make the most out of what time I have left. And
you're very positive.
Given that, and I think if I could choose to go like either way. Yeah. But I've always tried to choose to react in a way that's positive so that I can be constructive and do more and give back. Wow. And that's helped me. That is what has helped me my whole life.
Wow. 咁 Shelby 佢話而家我問佢而家佢感覺點啦，因為佢可能要第3次又要換肝，咁佢話佢係唔舒服嘅，亦都有時暈暈地啊，亦都冇乜胃口咁咯。但係佢都盡量用自己嘅時間同埋正能量去諗住幫其他人啊，就算佢好唔舒服，佢都會 get up 去做佢嘅 bracelet 啊，一路 keep going 做好多對其他人有幫助嘅嘢咯。咁呢個係佢發出正能量嘅主要原因。I don't know what to say. I'm speechless after I found out all you have to go through. And when I met you, I didn't even feel the negativity you have, and you sound so happy. You really, you look very, I can feel the positive energy from you. So if you tell me all that you have to go through, and the third time may be coming, and oh my God, I really couldn't really feel it from you. You're so positive and you look happy, and
like 3 times? Are you kidding me? And here's what I'll say to that. You can be positive, but at the same time, I've had to allow myself, and everyone out there, you have to allow yourself to have the days where you're like, this is not okay, this sucks, no, nah. You have to allow yourself that balance. You can't just be all the time up here. That's not how it works. You make a choice. Am I going to go down this path? Am I going to go down this path? Choose. It's very hard to choose the path I took, but it was a choice. You choose consciously. You choose a choice. I chose positivity. It's not always easy, and you have to allow yourself to have those days where it's not okay, and you have those down days. But you work to keep making those choices every day where I'm still here. I'm going to do this, and that's what has allowed me to have a very constructive life and to have that health and that happiness within illness. Because when you look at my life, it's like it's been a bit of a mess, but I have achieved so much. And I've got a great support group, but when you're positive, you attract that.
Yeah.
You'll attract that to you. It's not easy to be positive, but you make that choice inside of you. And then you just go with it.
OK， 咁 Shelby 話要有正能量係唔容易嘅，有陣時某一日佢都會有啲唔開心嘅日子，咁但係唔好令唔開心嘅日子去要發出正嘅能量啦。咁佢就話即係雖然而家係即係咁艱難，咁但係佢都要去佢一日日咁樣過咯。咁如果你呢個係你自己嘅 choice， 你想揀日日唔開心啊，定係一日去開心做啲有幫助人哋嘅嘢咯。So what do you do when you have down day, right? You say. So what do you do when it's down, and how that affect you?
Yeah. So there's some days where I'm. It's hard. I can't do anything. I'm literally in bed or I'm on the couch. And that's the difficult part, because I can get very frustrated when my body is failing me, so to speak. And that's again where I have to make a choice. I have to just be present, be very present, and just let that day be a bad day. And try not to emotionally react to the frustration I'm feeling, but rather allow myself to just be present that day, let myself have a bad day, and let it just go. And then the next day, make another choice. Just be very present and try not to let it build up. And that's kind of been working, because it's all about adapting. For me, adaptation, I say this, adaptation is my superpower. You just have to adapt and kind of ebb and flow.
I'm sure you've been practicing many like years.
Since I was 14.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not easy. Yeah. So
that's what.
Yeah, 咁 Shelby 話佢我問佢咁佢有啲唔係日日都係咁容易過㗎嘛，有啲係難過日子，佢會點樣過法咧？咁佢話係有嘅，因為有陣時佢個身體係起唔到身啦，喺個床度，咁係唔係好喐得啦？咁佢話要去面對咯，同埋要去唔好俾你嘅情緒影響你。咁依日佢自己 relax 啊，去諗 OK， 我聽日會好啲㗎啦。咁變咗佢要去適應自己啦。咁佢話由14歲開始，佢要適應點樣去面對同埋生活佢自己咁多嘅困難咯嚇。It's crazy. I cannot imagine it's been like since 14. It's 20 years? Probably, right? More than 20 years.
Oh, I love you. I'm 41. I'm 41. And that's the other thing. Yes. I'm so excited.
You go so young. I thought you're 30 something.
I love you.
Great. Wow. You look good. I think because you're working out and you take care of yourself still. That's great.
Yeah,
wow.
I do.
Wow. And you look beautiful.
Thank you. Wow. And I have to say, as my energy, I'm on a good day today, a pretty good day. But as my energy kind of goes down and down and down, the things that I choose to put my energy into, I really think about, and I'm really very conscious of what I put my energy into now. And that's why this liver bracelet 2.0 is so exciting. It's a labor of love, and it's haven't been able to make jewelry full time for a while now, but I chose to do this because this year it's so important with, with COVID happening and the galas not being able to be put in person. And Monica is so incredible with what she's done over the years in CLF. So I called her up. I'm like, Monica, I'm gonna do something this year. So I'm really excited to relaunch this. I've got the design, and it's so different, and I'm so excited about it. So I'm gonna send you a link. I'm really excited because
I'm sure
I
we
usually
all want
make
to
things
see it too.
and I usually make things with my hands, but when you have liver disease, your hands shake a bit, so I'm not able to create it myself. I have designed it, and I have somebody making it for me in a studio. So it's going to be a little different, but it's going to be beautiful.
It's great.
Yeah.
咁Monica Shelby 就多謝 Monica 啦，佢係Canadian Liver Foundation， 我都訪問過佢噶啦，咁幫呢個 foundation 做咗好多籌款啊，咁Shelby 咧就做呢個 bracelet One No 就幫呢個 foundation 籌款，咁我就同Shelby Shelby 講佢she look good right，and 佢講咩？佢原來佢41歲咯，真係唔似喎，大家睇落去點似41次咧？可能佢即係又運動啦，心情又放鬆啦，雖然佢經過咁多樣嘢，咁所以我覺得即係呢樣嘢都唔簡單。You can show by your look because you positive, you exercise, you take care of yourself, and you look great. Even though if I don't know anything, I never know you go through so much.
It's funny. Sometimes doctors they'll be walking through with, they'll come to see me, but they'll have my file and they'll walk right past the room and they'll be like, you don't match your file. It's quite funny, but
they probably expect someone that's really sick, right? They probably
yeah. Sometimes it doesn't work very well for me because I'm like, I'm sicker than I look. I need help. But I think that kind of speaks to, how much positivity helps our bodies, how much it really helps our bodies. And, it takes work, but it really does make a huge difference in our lives. Definitely. And, I wouldn't be here if I would never have gotten that second transplant when I was 27 if they hadn't been doing research. And, that's what the Canadian Liver Foundation is all about. They raise money for research. And that's why I'm doing this, that's why I'm giving back and raising money through this bracelet and doing everything I can now, while I have the ability to give back to those who might need help. And that's why I've gone back to school, learn how to research myself and just,
Amazing. Yeah, 咁Shelby 就話佢如果冇咗呢個 research， 佢今日都唔會有第二個 liver transplant 咯，所以佢好想即係俾佢自己而家有剩嘅時間啦，同埋精力咧，都想去做多啲幫呢個 research 啊，做呢個 bracelet 嚟幫其他人嘅。So did the doctor say if the third one, when you're going to do the transplant? Are you going to do the transplant, the third one?
Yeah, so they've got me kind of already, they've done all the kind of pre-workup on it. What they've said is I've kind of already, they're surprised it's kind of lasted this long. It's kind of already, it could happen at any time, basically, is what they've told me. And that was almost 2 years ago. So it looks like it could go at any time. It's already kind of, the way they explain it to me is your liver's already done a marathon and now you're through the finish line and you're still running. So at any point you could drop. So that's kind of what's a bit scary.
Yeah. So when the transplant, are you the doctor planned the transplant in any time? You're waiting for that?
Yeah, they're waiting. This is the crazy part. I'm not where I'm at now. I'm still not sick enough. They have to wait until you're sick enough. So at any point I will decline, and I'll likely decline very fast. So when I hit a threshold, I'm going to just go very, very sick very quickly, and they will need to find a match very quickly. But the tricky part with this one is because of the type of rejection I have, it'll be very difficult to find a match. So out of, say, 100 donors that matched me, 2 of those my body would accept. The rest I'll instantly reject.
Oh my God.
So
I'll play for you. Okay. I'll play for you every night.
Yeah.
Because
thank you. Because there's going to be a small window
yeah.
when I do finally decline. And when they're looking for matches, when they find a match for me, only 2% of those matches will fit because I've developed antibodies. It's a tricky.
So
I don't know about
they're
this.
looking right now? Are they looking, searching right now?
No, because I'm still not in that thick enough.
So you
right?
have to wait until the window?
I have to wait until I decline, and then it's like look for a match, but the match scary
God.
this time. This time's very scary.
I'll play for you. So Shelby 話我問佢第3次換肝咁個情形係點啦？咁佢話今次就難好多啦，因為咧佢好多rejection 係對個肝好多反副作用。咁佢今次揾嘅donor 去 match 咧係好少 percent 可以 match 到佢嘅啫。而佢而家唔係話好唔舒服，佢要等到好唔舒服嗰陣時咧，個醫生先至可以俾 emergency 佢揾個 donor， 要即刻揾就未必揾到，所以佢今次係我為佢祈禱咯，所以係I'm so sorry to hear all that, but I know you're strong and you can hang in there, and we'll play for you. And let's keep in touch. I want to, know how everything's going.
I love that.
I'll check with you and make sure you're okay and play for you. And you're doing great to going through all that. And it's amazing. Life is amazing, especially have people like you and still show us. A lot of our problem is not problem compared to you, so, so
I don't know.
It's just, we're looking at, we are arguing with friends, we are arguing with family, and it's no big deal, and, what you have to go through is just, it's amazing. It's not just a year. It's been almost, 70% of your life, I'll say, right? And you've been still fighting, and you're still fighting today. So and I'm very grateful you do the baseless too, even though your hand is still not strong enough, but you're still thinking about helping others.
I adapt and then I figure it out.
I think that's important.
Adaptation.
Have your energy, right? You still put your energy in it, think about other people, and try to and do all the bracelets. So definitely we'll show us when your jewelry is ready, so we know.
I would love to.
We would love to see your new design. And then
I'd love to.
Maybe during the gala day, maybe we can do a Zoom and you can show us. I think it would be exciting.
That would be wonderful.
When you have time. I don't know how busy when you're in the gala, but we can figure out something. Maybe when you launch, I can invite you again and you can show us your new design. How about that?
I will make some time. Absolutely. That would be amazing.
I'm sure if you want to see your new product. 咁我同佢講咧，佢就11月佢個 new product 會 launch 啦，咁到時再請佢翻嚟，可以俾佢嘅 new design 嚟睇啦。咁我都話我會同佢祈禱，同埋我會 check on her 啦 ，make sure 佢每日都 OK 啦，因為今日唔知聽日咩事啊嘛，所以我哋都好多謝佢俾個時間我哋同大家分享佢呢一個咁難嘅人生。咁我覺得我哋好多問題都唔係問題㗎啦，對於佢嚟講係咪？所以我覺得即係正能量係好緊要咯。Thank you for giving it all the positive energy and knowing that you go through so much and you're still, willing to share. And I'm glad you have a good day today. And I hope every day is your good day. So, it'll be easy. And I hope you get your third liver and transplant successfully. And we can see more of your jewelry, maybe 3.0, okay?
Yes. And I just want to thank your audience. Yeah, we'll get there. I just want to thank you. And I want to thank your audience too. Your audience, I was reading some of their comments and they seem absolutely lovely and incredible. So hi to all your audience. And thank you so much for listening to my story. And thank you, Wing. You're very inspiring yourself. Thank you so much for allowing me to speak with you today.
Thank you. You too. Your story is so inspirational. And thank you for your time and thank you for sharing. I think it's very important for other people to know. And, we all go through something during our lifetime. And we know a support group is very important. If someone out there have similar problem, you can reach Shelby. And I will post your website, and so you can talk to her. And I'm sure she have a lot of good experience, so a lot of good advice for everybody. Okay, so thank you for watching. 多謝大家收睇，拜拜，拜拜。Hi，多謝大家收睇我嘅節目，記得 subscribe and 俾 like 啦。